Hi, this is Marty at Curtis Industries. We're going to go over some tips and tricks for installing the heater on the 1626 Mahindra with the new Curtis cab. To start with, as shown in the installation instructions, you're going to want to run your wire harness before you put your cowl on. So to start that process, the first step is to remove the fuse. The fuse is right down here. I'm just going to pull it out. There it is, and that's just so we don't short anything out while we're connecting the wiring. Again, per the installation instructions, you're going to want to put the cowl in place but not bolt anything up yet. The windshield won't be on yet. You're going to take your power harness, you're going to position it over here. Leave yourself about 6 inches of a loop, because again the wiper won't be there yet. But you're going to install a P-clip here on top of the cowl, metal cowl, then one underneath right here, and another one right here. You're going to want to rough position the connector for your heater switch, which is all right there. Run the wiring over to your side frame. So we run the power harness over to the side frame, and we run it down the side frame with 3 more P-clips and self-drilling screws. And that's why you don't install the cowl yet, so you have room to get in there with a screw gun and tap the screws into the side frame. So then we run the power harness over to the engine. You connect the black ground wire there. We're going to install the glass fuse harness to the back of the alternator here, and then connect the other end to the power harness. Once you're done with all that, wrap it all up, all the extra wire, and secure it with this large wire tie. So install the rest of the cab per the installation instructions, and then it will finally be time to mount your heater on the bracket. So the heater kit comes with one 17-foot piece of hose. You want to run both of those up through these plastic bushings right here in the floorboard. Both ends of those, I should say. Run them right up to the heater and connect them with the hose clamps provided. Now you're going to route the hose as shown along here, down the left side of your engine, up your radiator, and across the top. You'll notice we have it secured here, one hose on top of the other, because if you do one hose outside the other, it's going to hit the engine cover. And you need to secure it right here next to the main tractor wire harness so that it does not touch the exhaust. Over here, we've also secured the hoses with the last wire tie, such that there's one on top of the other. They're nice and tight to this hose, and they won't be rubbing against the engine cover when we put the side panels back on. So route one of your hoses, continue across the top of the radiator. You're going to come down outside of the air intake here and over to the lower radiator hose. Place a drain pan under the tractor, cut your lower radiator hose right in the middle of this straight section. After all the coolant's drained out, install this T-fitting with the 2 large hose clamps and connect the hose you just cut with the small hose clamp to the other end of the T. So as the instructions call out, you need to secure the hoses away from anything sharp or hot. We've taken one wire tie, wrapped it around the upper radiator hose here and the 2 hoses, and set the slack so that the hoses aren't against this metal brace that holds the hood open here. So we have plenty of clearance to the bottom of that. Going around to the other side, we've already talked about how we secured here near the exhaust, but we've made sure we've left the slack in the hose again so that we're not rubbing up against that bright metal brace. You're going to pull the plug from the bottom of the thermostat housing and install the nipple provided right here and tighten it. So the remaining piece of hose you have, you're going to route out here, right around your overflow tank, over to the nipple you just installed, cut it to length, and install with a clamp. Once you have the hoses all routed and connected, you want to take the hose that you ran over to the top of the engine by the thermostat housing and splice in this inline shutoff valve. Right now this valve is shut off because it's summertime here and we don't want the heater getting hot in the summer. I've chosen to put it up here on top of the radiator, but you can locate it anywhere of your choosing along that hose. This is your left side engine cover. We've installed this piece of trim lock provided along this sharp edge to protect the hoses. The other thing good to keep an eye on once you install the cover is make sure the hoses aren't rubbing against the end of this perforated steel here, because that can be sharp and cut your hoses as well. So that's pretty much it for the details of the heater install. Obviously you're going to have to refill your cooling system, put your fuse back in, and start your tractor up. The heater itself should self-bleed, and you should get lots of heat out of this engine. Thanks for watching.